Welcome to another amazing episode here on TableMatas podcast. Of course, the most entertaining and educative podcast of our time. I have legendary Emmanuel. No, he said legendary Manuel, correct?
Go ahead.
Mr. always find your trouble. And of course, my name, Odogwu Vibes. Well, today we'll be talking to you on development and entertainment. And guess who we have here on TableMatas podcast? We have... I wanted on my spirit just now last week. Nobody cuts me. We have the Right Honorable Dr. Tonye Emmanuel Isenah.
They didn't introduce person like that.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our father, our daddy, the original entertainer in Bayelsa State. The man who carry entertainers for head. The man will be the doer, the shaker of movie industry, and in fact, the whole of entertainment. No, the shaker. The oga pata of them all. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you our daddy. Me, I call him daddy of entertainment. The daddy of entertainers. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Right Honorable Dr. Emmanuel Tonye Isenah. Welcome, sir. God bless you for coming, sir.
Thank you very much for...
How are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm fine. For the records, please, I don't like being addressed as a Right Honorable Doctor.
Okay.
While I was in the House, on plenary, I addressed the bench that I should be addressed Right Honorable Tonye Emmanuel Isenah, PhD. Okay. Now, why did I do that? Because a lot of people that are taken to one all and given an honorary doctorate degree, and they also call themselves doctors. I'm an academic doctor. I read for it. I researched for it. And so I need to distinguish that. So when once you say Right Honorable Tonye Emmanuel Isenah, PhD, it will let you know that, yes, I'm an academic doctor of philosophy. I was not taken to one room to go and give one academic gown and give one this thing. So I prefer being addressed. If you don't want to put titles, Tonye Emmanuel Isenah is my name. If you want to put titles, Right Honorable Tonye Emmanuel Isenah, PhD. That's how I address.
The reason why they laugh now because I'm saying my namesake.
Namesake get level. No rush, they'll say now your namesake. There are levels to this.
Now be the chairman of the Emmanuel, so make it know.
Good, there are levels to this, okay?
I will not be your name. Now, why the chairman that? Even director knows himself now Emmanuel, don't forget to.
Level.
There are still levels to this. Levels to this.
We know now be the
level, not the me too. I don't pass where in there before I reach there. So anybody can reach there with it.
So please, tell us about your journey. Tell us about yourself. Like, how did you get to this very platform? How did you get to this very stage you are? Just tell us a brief bio about yourself.
Okay, Tonye Emmanuel Isenah is my name. I was born about 53 years ago. I was born on the 18th of August, 1972. Raised by an illiterate grandmother in OD. Went to briefly in Bela Primary School. And then later when Amasain Primary School was established, those of us from OD South went to Amasain Primary School. I finished from there and went to Government Secondary School OD and then finished from there. Went to Port Harcourt in search of greener pastures, perhaps thinking of how to go to university, and then eventually found myself in Lagos, still in search of greener pastures. And then, one way or the other, I had a very tough time in Lagos, but part of the learning process and the experiences, gained admission to study marketing in the then Rivers State University of Science and Technology, now Rivers State University. I did marketing, finished from there, got to Bayelsa. Did one thing, part-time lecturing jobs, supporting my mother in a restaurant, and then eventually took into politics, which originally wasn't my thing, but I went in. It was a bandwagon thing, actually. Joining politics was bandwagon. That wasn't my plan in life. But God proposes, man proposes, God disposes. So I found myself in politics. And then not regretting where I am today because it was also an opportunity to still give service. Became a member in the State Assembly, got my master's, got my PhD, all in marketing. Then God willing, rose up to becoming the presiding officer in the Bayelsa State House of Assembly. Currently, I serve as General Manager Housing and Property Development Authority, Bayelsa State. So far, so good. That's me. Tonye,
Thank you very
nice
much. You just answered the second question I was going to ask about your journey into politics, but you said something that got me through. You said you had to work as a conductor for over 5 months to get into school.
6 months thereabout. Yeah.
6 months thereabout. Like, how did you do that? How did you keep your mind stable that okay, I can do this and I can move forward from here?
Yeah, I was in Lagos. Got to Lagos, like I said, in search of greener pastures. But incidentally, life wasn't a bed of roses. Lagos wasn't a bed of roses. And that's what they call this is Lagos. It wasn't like now, Fashola came and say, okay, Onibaje. When you're entering Lagos, you say 3 wise men. They say, this is Lagos. And to let you know that you are actually coming to Lagos. And I stayed in about the most scammy part of Lagos. That's Ajegule itself. And so things weren't good. Life was tough. Some point in time, morning till 5 p.m. in the evening, you don't know where your first meal was going to come from, that kind of situation. And then sometimes you are being chased out of where you are staying, you are managing, so life became so tough. I wasn't going to be a bad boy. I wouldn't want to join, go into vices. So what do I do to survive? At some point, I was going to serve in a restaurant in Takwa Bay, where a lady who was married to my dad then had a restaurant. So I got to help her out there. And then eventually, until something happened, 1995, I managed to get a form to go to university, JAM form. Then my center was in Surulere. So on the JAM day, I was in Ajegule. I had no transport to go and ride that JAM. So I missed it. I couldn't trek from Ajegule to Surulere, so I lost that. So when the next year, 96 came, it's okay. My brother of mine, who somehow time we're staying with, had a bus. So I told him that, look, this Yoruba boy that is doing conductor, me too, I can do this, so because I have to survive. They see me as they see me as somebody who like guy. And I went to Lagos after being acculturated in Port Harcourt. When I left OD, all my life was in OD. When I went to Port Harcourt, I think I had some friends. I got acculturated. So my style, everything about life changed. My dressing, Port Harcourt is a center for dressing. I think that's where my dressing sense came from. I got acculturated and everything about me changed. So when I got to Lagos, everybody thought I was this Port Harcourt boy that likes guy. Are you sure you can do this conductor? I said, I'm going to do it. I can't steal. So I did that. Even before then, like a lot of houses are in Shibiri and in Lobo area. If you go there, we have to go into that forest and help out. Be an helper to a mason. Mix concon, pour, to survive. You have to survive. Sometimes when you are in that forest, building that house, you don't even know where food is going to come from. Even if they are going to pay you, so while that work is going on, you see one woman will carry one going beans and inside that forage is coming. And the small girl will follow her with agege bread. So you know that at least lunch or breakfast is set. That's how we managed to eat. Until that opportunity came, I said I want to do it. So I did that conductor, this thing. With pride, I would say it. So I did that and then was able to raise money, buy the JAM form. This time I had to fill Port Harcourt as a center, River State. So I now came to Port Harcourt to ride the JAM. That's how I came to school. Yeah.
Okay. Your story is so sweet. Touching too. Okay, let's go to entertainment now. Let's come to entertainment. That's your area, sir. So you are considered one of the most fashionable politician, most popular politician. How does that make you feel, sir?
When you say most fashionable,
like now you dap pass. You dap.
Yeah. If you watch our previous discussion just now when I was talking, yes. I told you that when I went to Port Harcourt, something happened. Let me say it, very intriguing. Okay. I had some very funny clothes, very funny looking clothes. But at the village level, I was a nigga, right? But then I got to Port Harcourt and then they paid JAM classes for me then. So it was in Bereton. Is it Bereton or Ladumo, one of these places. So okay, I went there and then incidentally I went late to the class. As a village boy, the man that just came in from the village and feeling funky about what I was wearing. So I came late, and as I was entering, the lecturer who was stopped. Everybody kept quiet. See, Port Harcourt is the only place that you dress up and you're passing the streets. Everybody will focus on you.
Swear,
they will check out what you are wearing, your shoe, your belt, whether your belt is matching your shoe, what kind of wristwatch you are tying, what kind of shoe you are wearing. Port Harcourt is, you must be fashion conscious about that. As I was entering, everybody kept quiet. Then from inside the class, one of the person said, which one look be this now? You know? And then I realized that what I was wearing was not a city thing. So when I go back home, I told my people that, look, if you don't change my wardrobe, I'm not going to go for that jam classes again. You know, it happened like that. Then gradually, I had a friend, Darlington DK. You know, this Tonto DK, our cousin. He was staying with our father, so we were staying almost at the same place. So he was my friend. So one day he took me to a boutique, and then he bought some clothes for himself, and then also he said, "Oh, I'm gonna pick one or two things." So my first outfit, Lona jean. Then Lona just came out, a Lona jean with a T-shirt, and then one shoe, Italian Lords, with a belt to go for it. So the next day I was going to jam class. I dressed up, get a nice haircut. That time, if in Port Harcourt, there's a studio in Agri Road, Shapi. If you have not gone to Snap in Shapi, then you are not a Port Harcourt boy. You know, so I went to Shapi and got a good haircut. And then I intentionally went late to the next class. Then you see me,
make everybody observe you.
You see me bouncing into the class because I knew that my brown jean with my brown Italian Lords, then with my Lona jean, and then with my T-shirt. No, then the striped shirt, yeah. I tucked in. And I was feeling funky. So I was walking in, and, you know, the lecturer kept quiet, and everybody kept quiet. That boy, they said, oh, look who has changed. You know, my perspective, everything about, you know, it changed. And that's one thing about dressing. Dressing gives you confidence. Dressing gives you command. Dressing speaks loud. When you look good, it announces you. You know, so that's how, and then at some point, I know the interest, and then most of the dresses you see me wear, I give the concept to my tailors. Yeah, I want something like this. I want to look like this, and it to come out nice, you know. So I have tailors everywhere. Now I have one or two in Bayelsa.
I think we have to make a shout out to your tailor.
Yeah, my tailor. But please, those in Bayelsa, you know that I'm patronizing Fine Koto now. Then Alvin also did an outfit for me. Now, one or two or three guys, I've forgotten their name. Please don't be angry. I'm trying to, because I pay attention to details. When you make clothes for me, your threading, how the threading, the language of the threading, how it falls from my shoulder, it has to speak. You know, so you have to satisfy me on that. If I want a pant, how is the pant looking on me? Do you get, you know? So, but I have a tailor, T Apparel in Lagos, Yomi Casuals has once designed me. I have a Greg Daniels in Port Harcourt. I have a Arch Signature, you know, Ayula. You know, these are guys who designs me.
So now just Kukuma get a fashion brand now.
Yeah, I told you that the T-Boss global thing, it's beyond what we are saying. Now we have the T-Boss global brand, which is the Gusto experience that is coming now. Okay. You know, it's going to culminate into a lot of things. I love fashion. I love perfumes. Yeah, there was some point while I was in the house, I was working towards having my own perfume. I think in Abuja, I was working that, and I got disappointed somewhere along the line. So that thing is stalled. I wanted to design my own, you know, T-Boss brand perfume. So that I have my particular smell, you know. That's my mindset. Planning to have also a fashion magazine that speaks about me, and then also if you watch me, that I was advertising that I could, you know, I could fashion, you know, advertise your brand. I could be your model for your brand. You get, when you put on something, everybody comes to your inbox and say, please, let me get the number of your tailor. It happens. And once I drop a picture, you see people commenting, I like this outfit. Different outfits, they keep commenting. I spend money on fashion. I love looking good. You can't take it away from me. And I wear anything that fits me. It's not specific. It could be our native attire, it could be different. And again, in fashion, you have to be, you know, you have to be commanding. You dare colors in fashion. And you must introduce a kind of carriage. So I could wear something that the color, people could look at it and won't be able to fault it. You might wear that thing and your carriage will drop and people will fault. Oh, you are wearing, no, how can you wear canvas for this? But I will come out with it and people will say, this is nice. So you have this courage, you have this audacity to dare colors. And it will come out nice and people will find it difficult to fault it.
Sir,
That's the thing about fashion.
if person never sew for you before, I will go approach and the person don't watch this video. The person don't go sew. Now run, the person go run.
The person can't. When you are a tailor, you need to be upgrading. No, you need to go to.
Yes, we'll get tailor, be a man, and fashion designer.
No, you need to upgrade. You need to upgrade when you want to do that kind of a thing. Because definitely, like I said, you must pay attention to details when you prepare outfits for me.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, okay, now more going to the other parts. No, we were given a movie role one time like that.
Yeah.
A movie role to play. I think the title of that movie is High 11.
High 11.
High 11. So you were given a role. So can you tell us a story about how you were involved in that movie?
Okay, yeah. What happened in that movie was the young man came to me. He needed support.
Okay.
Now, he also could not get in either grade A list or B list artist. Actors to come because there was no funds, and then he needed things to use. So I donated my cars, I donated my house. They used my house free. And listen, so that role, there was nobody to come in to play that role, and they said if I could play the role, I said okay, free of charge. If it was to pay a grade A or grade B artist, he would have paid, some, but free of charge. I did it for the young man who is the director of the movie. I did it for him. The producer, I did it for him. So I give all the facilities. At some point, I was even feeding his cast and crew, in this thing, to ensure that the thing comes out well. So most of the parts I played, it was even in my house. We used my house. And then even when I knew that I was going to be arrested, I needed to play the part, for him. That's how I came in there. And then something very intriguing. I came to understand that at some point I was even interpreting the role and I was telling them what should be added. Because when you watch a movie, if you pay attention, there are some parts that somebody who is acting shouldn't have done that. And the person did that. And you'll be querying it. So we needed to take a lot of those things to cognizance and say, no, this particular thing shouldn't be this. I was querying my role. And the guy the director too, PMD, who directed the movie, was shocked. Yeah, I was interpreting my role. Before they could finish their own, I'm done with my own. I was even inserting my languages and the rest of them. And so it came out that way. Another thing, this man, what's his name? What's this guy's name? Who made me to do a skit with him. First skit I ever did with him. Okay. He called me and he wanted me to do, what was this, my friend's name again now? He called me, so I did that first skit with him. Okay. And then I did this thing. Recently, not too long, I did on that skit with this big eye comedy. Some of these things I do, I help them. I used to just to push. To show, appear, and then also help them to use my facility instead of going to rent somewhere. Like, say, Tonye, what has happened? I said nothing. I say it's a movie role. And it was a movie role. And then, this life, you see people mean well for you and people who are also praying for your downfall. Exactly. Some politicians who are who see themselves as political detractors or whatever, they were celebrating, even insulting my followers back home. Oh, no, God, they don't arrest them again, that kind of a thing. Then they got scared. Everybody was calling me, That's why you now know that some people celebrate other people's downfall for no reason. For no reason. It was funny anyway. That thing went viral.
Okay, you are known for supporting entertainers and creators in various states. What inspires this passion?
There's in the village as a young boy growing up, I love drumming, I love singing. So when I finished university, I came to Bayelsa and there was no job while I was just there helping out. At some point, I was even singing on the streets. When the famous Camp Murphy was on, I was singing, you know, but I do more of the cultural song, the gyration, this thing, you know, so I was doing that. And I loved entertainment from the beginning. So when this entertainment thing, you know, people now started making money out of it, and we discovered that we have a lot of untapped potential, you know, in Bayelsa. And in my sojourn, I also discovered that these guys, most of them needs push. They need help. And if we want to have them at the top, people need to push these guys. So that's where it all came in. I started with, you know, a discussion I had with Apuku.
Okay.
I'd not met him before, but eventually when I went to a show and I saw him, and I said, look, my brother, in the city of the blind men, one-eyed man is the king. That Bayelsans will be fed up with your jokes. Go to the deep sea and make something out of your life. You can only come back here.